Hi there, I'm Bonnie McCaffery, and thanks so much for coming back this month. I have a real treat for you this month. I'm here with my friend Robbi, and oh my gosh, she has the greatest studio space. You're so organized.
Oh, yeah, only in here.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's where it counts, right?
Well, yes, that's very important.
And you've got everything labeled so beautifully. Oh my gosh, that's absolutely wonderful.
Thanks. You know, these labels are all new, just because you were coming.
All right.
They're bigger.
They're bigger.
They're bigger,
Well,
yeah.
that's because we can't see anymore.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, I notice here you have this wonderful board here that you work on, and you work a little bit differently. Let's take a look and see how you work.
Okay.
Okay, so you've got this great design wall. Actually, how do you go about designing your quilts, and how do you make them happen? What's your technique, kind of?
I have a 36-inch wide inkjet printer.
Whoa.
So
aren't you lucky?
Yeah. At 2 o'clock in the morning, when I want to make a pattern, I can just, print something if the ink is working.
Are you working at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Uh-huh.
You
Yeah.
wild,
Yeah.
crazy
Yes.
woman. Okay, so
Great.
go ahead. You print out your pattern.
Okay, so
what do you print it on? Just paper?
Well, this is cardstock.
Oh,
That I
okay.
ran through the laser printer, and this is for this petal shape here.
Right.
So here's a cardstock template, and then I traced it onto Wonder Under.
Right.
But then I'll peel this paper off.
So then you position that in place.
And I'll stick that on here.
Do you fuse that right into place once you have it positioned?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this I'll do on a table with a regular
Right.
iron, and I might
Right.
have a template to show me exactly where it goes.
Right. And then play with them up
Play
here
with
on
it on
there?
here yet and put it. This flower, when I made it the first time before the parts fell off of
Yeah.
it, I could work on a table and pin.
Right.
But this is easier because I can reach it. Whereas
Right.
a table,
Right, when you're working big like this.
yeah.
And you can step back and look at it,
Exactly.
which is really nice.
Yes.
So when you have these all positioned in place, do you just iron it right up on the wall here?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a neat idea to be able to iron right on the wall. That works
Exactly.
good. Now, I know that you have a really neat technique for getting your quilts really nice and square. Can you tell me about that?
Okay, so it took me like 5 years to find the perfect way to square my quilts off.
Right.
So I'm really excited about this. Okay, see, this is a level that I bought on Amazon.com, and I decided I needed 3 of them because I was going to use them on my table. So
What's neat about this level?
it has 2
look
modes.
at that.
Okay, see, it can.
Right.
It's fixed.
Right.
Fixed 90. See, it's shooting 90 degrees.
Right.
Okay, and then also it works by gravity too.
Meaning that now this is a level line
This
because
is
it's
level
working.
horizontally. Okay, and then see, it has this thing on it right here, and you could put pins through it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you could, but really, it's for people to put nails in
Right,
to
but
hang shelves.
yeah, but we're pinners.
But
we use
yeah,
pins,
exactly.
not nails.
So-
So you have one pinned up here.
So I have one pinned up here. So it dawned on me that if I started making my quilts square in the first place,
Whoa,
it would
what-
be easier to square them off at the end.
Isn't that an interesting
So,
concept?
for me, think ahead. You know what
So
I'm
we
saying?
got a square line up there.
Yeah.
What are
So-
these?
Oh, these are vertical blind replacement blades.
Oh.
So I think these might be 84 inches.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ooh,
and
how nice.
it's $10 for 12 of them.
Oh.
And they bend.
Yeah.
And you can write on them, and you can punch holes in them. So then I got this tape.
Yeah.
And
Like a
it's-
tape measure.
It's a tape measure that's sticky, but I think that I got it like at a scrapbooking store. Okay.
So you glued that onto the...
It's just tape. I stuck it on. And what I did was, can you see that little hole?
Yeah, I see that there's holes there.
Okay, I punched those with a little hole puncher. 'Cause
Okay, but you know
some
what
of
I
them-
noticed is that you didn't actually pin into those holes.
Right. Well, first I pinned into the holes to get it to be in the right place.
Okay, right,
Okay.
so that it's lined up with a level line.
Right. And then I went back and I put the pin, there's one at the bottom, and over here there's one at the
Right,
top.
so it's kind of trapped in
There's
between
a-
the pins.
Look, and then you can do this. So you can move it,
Okay, so why would that be good?
because I want to use this to make the exact size of my quilt.
Okay, so you
So-
want it to be 54 inches across.
Yeah. First I just pin the fabric up on the edge.
And
So-
I noticed you've got another blind thing on
Yes,
the edge
I have
there.
another one on this side, and I made sure that this was perfectly vertical,
Okay,
okay?
it's
And-
perpendicular to this line here.
Right,
So now you want to make sure that this edge,
is 54 inches.
so by finding the middle and
So
figuring...
you have to do math. So you take 54 divided by 2 is
It's
20,
not calculus.
27.
So we got 27 inches, and so you're going to line...
So I can slide this here.
Oh, so that making that tunnel makes it you can slide and get the 27
Yeah,
inches.
so, or I could have lined this up with the center of the fabric
Right.
And then I mean, there's all you.
Right.
There's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I could have done this second.
So here's the center, and then if we come out 27 inches
27.
here, then we know that this is the edge of this one. And so now we could position this one at the 27, and now you know
Exactly.
that that's the edge of the quilt.
Right,
over here.
and I could pin it there, and actually I could pin it at the 20 mark.
Right.
Although I know I only have 40 inches. But if I
Right.
had more,
Right.
I would pin it at the 20 mark.
So now you know exactly where your square is to design in.
Exactly. And then the fourth one, once you get these set, you could just pin a fourth one on.
Right.
Or
Because you've
not.
got all those measurements there. Wow.
Okay, then the other thing that's nice is because I've drawn these on the computer, that sometimes I do these wheels, and I want the bottom of the wheel to hit the bottom and the side of the wheel to hit here.
Right.
So I look on my computer drawing and figure out where the center is.
Oh, okay.
So I know where the center of the circle is, and I can
Exactly.
put a pin there and I can mark it.
Okay, so tell me about this one. You've got this big giant wheel. This is one of your newest pieces, which
This is
pretty
my
neat.
newest piece. It's not quilted yet.
We're getting a sneak peek.
This quilt, I think, is 73 by 73.
Just a little piece.
And it was supposed to be 40 by 54, but I really liked it, so I just kept adding
It
to
grew.
it. This purple, the border is there because I didn't want to cut off the circle of spirals.
Okay, so what about this quilt over here? Tell me about that one.
That's Groovy Guitars too,
Yeah.
and that's because I did Simply Quilts a long time ago. They needed me to make a quilt that they could decorate the set with stuff.
Okay.
So
okay, to go along with the theme.
Yeah. So I borrowed my son's electric guitar and Sam's bass, and then I had a guitar. And then in California, they rented guitars
Oh my
for
gosh.
their set.
That's so cool.
This
All right,
is a
so
long,
here,
involved
this
story.
is a guitar pattern that you can get
Yes.
the pattern for. So
Yes,
that's
because the other one went out of print.
neat. Right. So that's on your website.
That's right.
And the other one there on top there, that's great colors.
Oh, thanks. That's kind of subtle for me, though. Bright, though.
Subtle. Another word, subtle. Now downstairs you have a gorgeous quilt that's over your couch there.
Oh.
Tell me about that one.
I made that one a long time ago, before I even had a digital camera. So I took, I set
That
up...
was 100 years ago, I'm sure,
Yeah,
for both of us.
it's really an old quilt. It's an
Yeah.
antique. I set up a still life, and I took pictures of that with an old, what I like to call emulsion camera. So it's a real still life, and it's got my grandmother's bottle clock is in there. And it's a big empty wine bottle with a clock in the middle.
Oh,
And
that's so neat.
so anyway, so that clock ends up in a
In
lot
the
of quilts.
quilt,
And
yeah.
so the quilt's named after, it's borrowed time because we're lucky we're here or something sweet like that, but also because it was my grandmother's clock. And
Borrowing time.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's neat.
or-
Okay, so
oh,
you
I
have a
have
couple of books out. So your first,
My
your
first book
one?
is called Free Expression, The Art and Confessions of a Contemporary Quilter.
Right, and that's a lot of your technique, right?
Yeah, that's my how-to book.
Right, and you have one hot off the press.
Yes,
which is
and that's
neat.
called Goddess of the Last Minute.
And that's more
That's all essays.
a reading.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
essays.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
like
that's fun.
my column that I write for Quilting Arts, but it's all new.
Right.
And some of the things I couldn't put in Quilting Arts.
Right.
Because, you know, they were,
They're a little bit broader than quilting.
well, or snarkier, you know.
Oh.
So, because I figure I was responsible for whatever I said.
Right, right.
So, and also they could be, you know,
yeah.
not quilting related,
Well,
if I could get away with it.
Congratulations on the birth of
Thanks.
your second book.
Thank you.
And we do love your articles in Quilting Arts magazine.
Oh,
They
thanks.
are just so much fun to read.
Good. I have a good time writing them.
Yeah.
And I write those in the middle of the night.
Yeah, well,
too,
she
so-
doesn't sleep. She writes and
No,
quilts.
I
And
sleep I'll have a nap. sometimes
naps are a
in the
good
afternoon.
thing. Yeah. Let me throw you a curve, and I want to
Okay.
ask you a question. What is your philosophy of life?
Well, since I am the goddess of the last minute, and rightly so, I think it would be that never do today what you could do tomorrow instead.
Okay, that's
So-
good. Robbi, thank you so much for
Well, thank
inviting me
you.
into your studio and getting to see how you work in your gorgeous quilts.
Well, thanks, Bonnie. Thanks for coming.
And thank you all for coming. I hope you will come back and visit me next month to see what I have for you then. Thanks for being with me.